Hey guys, it's me, Jimmy Champane, here with my review of I Remember You. IFC Midnight is putting this one out on VOD services and in select theaters today. It's an Icelandic horror thriller, and I don't usually review foreign language films, but this one just looked really good based on its trailer, and I like what IFC Midnight does, so I decided to check it out. It's directed by Oscar Thor Axelsson, and that is the only name I could pronounce in the entire cast list, so there you go. I'm just going to use character names from now on. There's two plots at play here, but they're connected and they're pretty easy to follow. The first one follows Freyr. He's trying to find out what happened to his son who disappeared and is presumably dead. The second plot is a little more complex and involves Gorer, Katrin, and Leif. Now, Gorer and Katrin are married and they bought this whaling station that they want to turn into an Airbnb, so they bring their friend Leif along to help them out. This is where the supernatural element kicks in. As they're fixing up this house, they start to hear things at night, they start to see things in it, and then eventually they find a child's body in the cellar that they didn't even know was there. So that's all pretty creepy. I mentioned that this is an Icelandic horror movie, and so obviously it takes place in Iceland, and it's just kind of the perfect setting for a ghost story haunted house type movie like this. It just looks like another planet, which is probably why they used it in Rogue One. Every time they set up a landscape, very wide shot, it just takes your breath away, but also gives you this sense of dread that I don't feel like it would have had if it was shot somewhere else. Even though I obviously couldn't understand what the characters were saying, the actors sold the emotions well enough to where even if I was looking at the screen and away from the subtitles, I kind of got the general sense of what was going on. So it wasn't very hard to follow, and I liked that, even though there's two intersecting paths. The biggest gripe I have is that for about the first 40-45 minutes, it's just kind of derivative. It's setting up all the characters, telling you what's going on, and it doesn't really feel like it's going anywhere. You know what the characters are trying to do, but you don't know where the plot is going necessarily, and I didn't really like that because the movie's an hour and 45 minutes, and I feel like if they shaved it down just a little bit, maybe 20 minutes or so, that would help out a whole lot. That being said, I was never really bored while I was watching it. It's pretty to look at, the characters are cool, and the story setup was done really well. I just felt like the first act sold me halfway through, and then they kept going on it, and I didn't really need that. Could have just moved on with the plot from there, and I feel like the movie would have been a lot better for it. Going back to the fact that it's a procedural cop drama and a horror movie, I'm pretty impressed with how well they were able to balance the two out. I feel like there's a lot of these movies that screw that up, like put way too much effort into one story than the other, but it's pretty well balanced here, and I appreciated that a lot. You genuinely feel for the characters throughout the movie, and the only weird thing about it is that there's really no bad guy. You just kind of want to see how everything connects and the plot moves forward, but there's no antagonist in this movie, which is kind of weird. Overall, I really like this movie a lot. I feel like it's releasing at the perfect time when the days are getting just a little bit chillier and they're starting to get overcast. This is kind of the perfect horror movie to watch during the day. It'll take up a good portion of a lazy Sunday or something, and then you'll kind of be in the perfect mood if you feel that chill in the air, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's what I thought of I Remember You. Now, like I mentioned, this movie is out today on VOD services, and you can go see it in select theaters, so check your showtimes and see if it's playing near you. If you do check it out, you should let me know what you think down in the comments below, and if you like this video, you can hit the thumbs up because that really helps me out. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jimmy Champane, and if you haven't heard yet, I just started a podcast with my best friend back in Michigan called Fear Frequency, where we talk about these indie movies at length, and I think you'd really like it if you're into my reviews. Anyways guys, my name is Jimmy Champane, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.